Mexican architecture specifically, we can identify topography, materiality, and sustainability as leading areas of interest for contemporary architects. Frampton writes about architecture and topography as built work formulated as if it were a landscape in itself, or alternatively an object so integrated into the ground as to be inseparable from the surrounding topography. According to Frampton, megaforms conceived as cities in miniature could also emphasize the structure of existing topography and to establish an identity for places. The projects of Ricardo Legorreta demonstrate these ideas. According to the Legorreta website, the design adapted the hotel to the topography by hugging the building to the cliff face and integrating the tropical vegetation of the site with the architecture. These elements were then used to establish the hotel as its own present. The renewed factory site is a desert. Legorreta initially reacted to the awe-inspiring sight, saying, "The desert is magic. It is not possible to describe it. It only absorbs you. I found myself with the desert and walls that never end." I did not want to soften this emotion, so instead of landscaping the open areas, we covered the site with cobblestones. Instead of a sweet color, we used red. Instead of fighting the desert, we complemented it. Materiality in architecture expresses the nature of materials and their use as part of a building, not only structurally or as protective skin from the environment, but the way it enhances the storytelling of the structure in which it is used. As Lois Kahn once showed, telling the story of him talking to the brick. If you think of brick, you say to brick, "What do you want, brick?" And brick says to you, "I like an arch." And if you say to brick, "Look, arches are expensive and I can use concrete lintel over you. What do you think of that, brick?" Brick says, "I like an arch." And it's important, you see, that you honor the material that you use. You can only do it if you honor the brick and glorify the brick instead of shortchanging it. According to an article in Business Week, Mexican buildings have traditionally incorporated sustainable principles, including using local materials such as naturally insulating adobe and using courtyards with fountains to cool indoor spaces. Recently, sophisticated green technologies, photovoltaic cells, and on-site waste treatment began working their way into development. The library contains more than 44,000 square meters and consists of 3 buildings lined with 6 levels each. The enclosure is bright thanks to the play of transparencies of the ceiling and walls of glass. According to an article in Design Boom, the design manifests collage desire to seize every opportunity to create green space in the polluted, aggressively built context where the building is located. The result is a symbiosis of natural and cultural learning environments. Designed to become one of Mexico's most energy-efficient buildings, the project features natural lighting throughout, an expansive green roof, sun shading, and natural ventilation while also enhancing user productivity, a key element in energy conservation. It also contributes to the spirit and therefore productivity of all those who see it. Almost all the facades are built in aluminum profiles and transparent windows covered with a technology film to reduce heat from the sun without minimizing natural lighting within. Mexican architects have demonstrated the importance of including aspects of topography and materiality into their architecture in order to integrate their structures into the sites they build on and to create an identity for their work. Furthermore, designing in a sustainable and socially conscious way demonstrates their goal to create a better architecture for the world.